Welcome back class 10 to the online bio classes. After a long gap, let's continue with the chapter 6, circulatory system. I will just start from the beginning and give a review of this chapter. In circulatory system, what we have to study, you know that there are many organs, systems in our body which work together to perform definite functions. In circulatory system, the definition first is a system which helps in the circulation of blood from one part of the body to the other. So, circulatory system is a system that consists of heart, the organ which pumps blood to all parts of the body. It consists of blood, that is the fluid connective tissue which circulate inside the blood vessels, and the third one is blood vessels in which the blood will flow from one part of the body to the other. So heart, blood and blood vessels together they make the circulatory system. And the fluids, there are two types of fluids. Number one is blood, which is our fluid connective tissue. The other one is tissue fluid. So next we have to study is, there are two types of circulatory system. All this I had done yesterday in the previous class, Open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system is the one which is found in lower organisms, in which there is no particular blood vessels through which the blood will flow, but the blood will flow openly into all the cells and the tissues, bathing all the organs in it. Whereas in closed circulatory system, like we have the closed circulatory system, blood flow inside closed blood vessels which are known as arteries, veins and capillaries. So closed circulatory system is more efficient than the open circulatory system because it is more efficient to transport the blood to far away distances from the organ from where it is pumped. But this open circulatory system is not that much sufficient for all the higher organisms. Now next we studied about tissue fluid and lymph. What is tissue fluid? When the blood flow inside the blood vessels like capillaries particularly, some of the blood will leak outside. Leakage means like when water is running in a tap, if the tap is not fitted nicely, some leakage will occur from the tap or even from the pipe through which the water is supplied. So leakage of that water will cause like wastage of water. But here, when the blood flow inside the blood vessels, that is capillaries, some of the blood will flow outside or leak outside and collect around the cells and the tissues. That forms extracellular fluid, also known as the tissue fluid. And this tissue fluid is the one which comes in contact with all the cells and the tissues in the body or the organs. 10% of the fluid leaks into the surrounding cells and tissues. Okay, and that forms, when it is collected around the cells and tissues, it forms tissue fluid. Now, tissue fluid supply all the cells with the nutrients and like oxygen and the food materials. They directly diffuse from the blood into the cells or the tissues. Secondly, it acts as an intermediate environment for every cell in the body, and it is easier for a cell to transfer or carry its functions properly if the environment is constant. Now what is lymph? Second one, lymph is a straw colored fluid. It is also a fluid connective tissue. It flows inside the special vessels which are called lymphatic vessels. And there is a separate system which is called lymphatic system that ultimately joins the circulatory system, that is the blood vessels, to enter inside the heart for oxygenation. So although it branches off from the circulatory system, but finally it rejoins the blood vessels to continue in the circulatory system only. So it is translucent, it is alkaline fluid, and it is present inside the lymph vessels and lymphatic nodes. Lymphatic vessels are present throughout the body. Lymph nodes are the swellings which are present under the armpits and the different parts of the body, which acts like the temporary reservoir. Lymph serves to return the tissue fluid back into the blood. So once again, the tissue fluid returns back into the blood with the help of lymphatic system. and it also helps to absorb the digested fats, glycerol and lipids from small intestine after digestion of food. Then we studied about the blood. What is blood? Blood is a fluid connective tissue and it circulates inside the blood vessels. What is the pH of blood? Already mentioned in your book. It is 7.35 to 7.45. That is, it is slightly alkaline in nature. And what is the volume of blood? It is 4.8, that is near about 5 liters, to 5.8, that is near about 6 liters. So in between 5 to 6 liters of blood is present in the human body. Particularly in female it is less, in male it is more. Now the blood consists of two parts. What are they? The composition of blood. It is made up of two parts. The liquid part of the blood is known as plasma. Alright? Whereas the solid part, that is known as corpuscles. They are known as the formed elements or corpuscles. So what is plasma first of all? And why blood is red in color, that also we can learn. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. Okay? So liquid part of blood is known as plasma. Liquid part of blood. And this one, the solid part of the blood, is called corpuscles. So how many types of corpuscles are there? There are three types of corpuscles. What are they? Red blood cells, white blood cells, and the blood platelets. P-L-A-T-E-L-E-T-S, platelets. Okay. Now this white blood cell is further divided into two types based on the granules which are present in their cytoplasm. That is called granulocytes and agranulocytes. So I am marking it as A, granulocytes, and the second one, that is B, is agranulocytes. If granules are present in the, so granulocytes, according to the presence or absence of granules in the cytoplasm of white blood cells, there are two types of white blood cells. Granulocytes means granules are present in their cytoplasm. It is further divided into the three types, that is neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. Like white blood cells has certain granules, like suppose this one is a white blood cell with a definite shape of the nucleus. The nucleus is lobed here. Okay? You know white blood cells are irregular cells. Now if the nucleus is present inside it, and this one is the cytoplasm. Now if this cytoplasm containing these granules are there, suppose these are the granules. Granules means the tiny particles of starch grains can be there or other grains can be there. Now when these grains or the granules are colored by different types of stains, like if they are colored with acidic stains, they can pick up color with acidic stains. They are called acidophils or eosinophils. So first one is eosinophils. They have two lobed nuclei, means the nucleus has two lobes, like you can draw like this, one lobe of the nucleus, another lobe of the nucleus, and this is how the eosinophils will appear. They have two lobe nucleus, they have a large coarse cytoplasmic granules which is stained with stain which name is eosin, E-O-S-I-N. What is the name of the stain? It is called eosin. So eosin is a type of acidic stain. So eosinophils are active in allergic reactions and they will carry out the process of phagocytosis. So if eosinophilia is increased in a person, you can know it means he is suffering from some infection and the number of eosinophils are trying to kill the white blood cells, germs by phagocytosis, means they are trying to kill the germs. Okay, so first one is eosinophils, E-O-S-I-N-O-P-H-I-L-S, eosinophils. The second one is basophils, B-A-S-O-P-H-I-L-S, and the third one is called neutrophils, neutrophils. So what are the three types of granulocytes? Eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils. Okay. Then how many types of agranulocytes are there? There are two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. So we can write like this, a tabular chart of the composition of blood. Now We are talking about the eosinophils. This is the topic we have to start because up to red blood cells we have completed in the interactive class. So what is white blood cell? White blood cell is irregular shape, just like amoeba. It has no fixed shape of its own, always changing its shape. And the nucleus which is present inside the WBC, they have different lobes or compartments, and there are 7,000 white blood cells per cubic milliliter. So amount of WBC, this one is 7,000. 7,000 WBCs in 1 cubic milliliter of blood. Okay, and WBCs are produced in large quantity in a person who is suffering from some disease, because their function is to fight against the disease causing germs by killing them or by producing antibodies which helps to fight against those disease causing germs. So young children have got more WBC as compared to the old people because they are more immunized, or they are more healthy, and they are more ready to fight with the disease causing microorganisms. Now, the other name of WBC white blood cells is leukocytes. Why? Because they are colorless. They are not like RBC. They do not have hemoglobin, so they are not red in color, and they are produced in the bone marrow and the lymph nodes. They have cells with a nucleus which is large and lobed. Now, what is diapdasis? A very important word is there, you must learn it. Diapdasis. In your book also it is given. What is diapdasis? D-I-A-P-E-D-S-I-S. Diapdasis. The answer is the process of squeezing out. Squeezing, you know, like if you push something forcibly. So when the white blood cells, like this is blood capillary, suppose, when WBC will leak outside from here, WBCs are coming outside. This squeezing out of WBC from the blood capillaries is called diapdasis. I will read out the definition. The WBCs can move by amoeboid movement, and they can squeeze out through the walls of blood capillaries into all parts of the body, and this process is called diapdasis. So how to define diapdasis? The process of squeezing out of WBC from the blood capillaries is called diapdasis. So if you want, you can write it. I will repeat once again. What is diapdasis? The process of squeezing out of WBC from the walls of blood capillaries is called diapdasis. Okay. Now next, we are talking about the types of WBC. There are two types of WBC. What are they? Granulocytes and agranulocytes. On which basis we have classified? How you can say that there are two types of WBC? We can say that there are two types of WBC on the basis of granules, like granules are present in their cytoplasm. These granules are there. Alright, this is the cytoplasm. If these granules are colored with acidic dye, they are called eosinophils. If they can pick up color with basic dyes, they are called basophils. But if these granules are colored or they are unaffected by acidic or basic dyes, that is called neutrophils. Neutral means I am not reactive to acidic or basic dyes. I will not color myself or my this one granules either with acid dye or with basic dye, no effect. Such type of WBCs in which the granules are not colored either by acidic or basic dyes, they are neutral to it, are called neutrophils. Got it? Now next differences you can learn about this all three: eosinophil, basophil, neutrophil, by looking at the diagrams also which is given in your book on page 95. So second one is basophils. Basophils, you can see they are multinucleated. In the book also given multi-lobed. Multi-lobed nucleus means, suppose if I draw the diagram here of a basophil. Yeah, this is suppose one WBC I have drawn, in which I am drawing, see, one lobe, second lobe, third lobe, nucleus. This is nucleus. What I am drawing, it is nucleus. Multi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lobes I have drawn. So multi-lobed nucleus is present in the basophils. They produce a substance called heparin. What is this HEPARIN? Heparin is anticoagulant. The meaning is such a chemical which is present in our blood that prevents the clotting. So this question is also asked. that when blood is present inside our body in the blood vessels, it will not clot. But once we meet with an accident or cut our skin and the blood comes outside, after some time that blood will clot. So what is the reason that the blood is not clotting inside the blood vessels? The answer is due to the presence of a natural anticoagulant that is called heparin. Heparin. Remember that word. Heparin is anticoagulant that prevents clotting of blood in the blood vessels. They also provide defense mechanism in allergic response due to some foreign materials. Now next one is neutrophils. The third type of white blood cells is called neutrophils. Neutrophils are present in large quantity in the white blood cells. They have a spherical multi-lobe, 3 to 5 lobe nucleus is present. So there can be 3 lobe, there can be 5 lobe nucleus in case of neutrophils. In basophils, they have also multi-lobe nucleus. Okay, so neutrophils diagram you can see like this only it is drawn, not basophils. Basophil is drawn in this way, like 1, 2, 3. This one is drawn, basophil. This one is neutrophil diagram, is drawn like that. So look at the diagram given in your book. Now next, they normally constitute 50 to 70% of the white blood cells, means maximum amount of WBC is the neutrophils, and their production increase whenever any bacterial infection occurs in our body. What is phagocytosis? Each neutrophil is able to kill 5 to 25 bacteria, means one neutrophil, that is one WBC, can kill 5 to 25 bacteria by a process called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis means the engulfing of solid food particles is called phagocytosis during its life cycle. Okay, so during phagocytosis, suppose there is one bacteria present here, it will surround this bacterial cell. Alright, just like pseudopodia is there, so it will surround it and cover it, and later on it will kill them with the help of their chemicals released. Alright, so in this way, the capturing of the solid food particle, here the food is the bacteria, means they try to feed on the bacteria and kill them or neutralize them. Okay. Okay, now next one we have to do is agranulocytes. There are 2 types of agranulocytes. What are they? Lymphocytes and monocytes. Now, what is the function and what type of nucleus is present in these agranulocytes? What is the shape? What is the function they do? That we have to learn. You can see in the book also given. Lymphocytes and monocytes. Agranulocytes are of 2 types. Lymphocytes and monocytes. Okay, first one is lymphocytes. Lymphocytes make 20 to 33%. 20 to 33% of total WBC. Next one, of all the WBC, they have large nucleus. You can see the diagram which is given in your book of lymphocytes. The nucleus is quite big like this. In case of monocytes, the nucleus is shown like a lobed one, in which you can see one small lobe is there like this. No, you can see the depression which is there, like this type of horseshoe shape. You know, horseshoe shape, magnet. So similar way, this type of shape of nucleus is present in case of monocytes. Lymphocytes is the one which is spherical like our thumb one, that shape. Thumb impression is there, in that type of nucleus is present in case of lymphocytes. So this one is 20 to 33%, whereas the lymphocytes is the one, lymphocytes makes, this is 2 to 6%. Lymphocytes other than 20 to 33. This one is 2 to 6%. So percentage is very less in case of monocytes. So diagram also you can see on both sides it is given. Monocytes appears like horseshoe shaped nucleus, and here the nucleus is somewhat spherical, just like our thumb impression. Then lymphocytes have the largest round nucleus with a depth, and they remain in the bloodstream for a very short time. The function of lymphocytes is to produce antibodies. Okay, so what is the function? Antibodies. Produce antibodies. So like this you can learn easily. Produce antibodies, and this way they help to provide immunity to our body, whereas monocytes makes 2 to 6%. The nucleus is kidney shaped nucleus. It is said here kidney shape, irregular horseshoe shape. I said about the horseshoe shape because horseshoe shape magnet is also there in physics, and it is shaped like that only. They are active against bacillus and they kill the germs by a process called phagocytosis, means eating of solid food. Phagocytosis. Alright. Then next, they also help in the beginning the antibody production. So they start or help in the starting of antibody production. But this is the one which helps to produce antibodies, the lymphocytes. Okay. So in a person's blood, lower leukocyte, if the leukocyte, that is white blood cell count, is called, means if WBC number decreases in our blood, that condition is called leukopenia, Leucopania, which is caused due to infections. Whereas the higher leukocyte count is called leukocytosis. Leukocytosis. Remember these two words are mentioned, means high WBC. When WBC count increases, it is called leukocytosis. In your book also given, the high leukocyte counts indicates a condition called leukocytosis, and second one is leukopenia, Leucopaenia. The spelling is Paeania, leukopenia. Low WBC count is called leukopenia. So these two words and their meanings you can understand. Leukocytosis is the higher WBC, means when the count of WBC increases, and leukopenia is the condition in which there is low count of WBC. Alright. So next we can see in table 7.2, which is given on page 96. You can write or learn this table, write it in your copy and learn all the functions. Now what is the function of leukocytes, that is white blood cells? Number one, inflammation. Inflammation is the swelling which occurs in any part of the body where infection has occurred. Like if some bacterial infection has occurred in any organ, there will be swelling of that particular organ. So inflammation is a rapid reaction to the tissue damage which is caused due to cut, blow or due to insect bite. If someone will blow you, then also swelling will occur, inflammation will be there. If the insect like honeybee will sting you, then also there will be swelling. So that swelling is called inflammation. Or if there is some cut or accident also, that will result in swelling. Even if we break our bones, then also that area or that part of the body will have swellings or inflammation, and it will cause lot of pain. It will be, temperature will also rise, and it will be red hot in color. Okay, so inflammation is a good sign because there is localization of germs. Germs are prevented from spreading to all parts of the body. Suppose you have cut your finger here, so this part will be reddish in color. It means more WBCs are present there to counter the germs and to prevent them from spreading to other parts of the body. Okay, so ruptured cells and some WBCs release chemicals like histamine and kinins. These chemicals make the capillary wall leaky for movement of WBCs, which clear bacteria by phagocytosis. Now what is phagocytosis? Already I told you. Phagocytosis is the process by which the WBC will take the solid germs, that is bacteria, by ingesting them. That process is called phagocytosis. Okay? They engulf the pathogens, take into cytoplasm and digest it. And last one is formation of antibodies. Just now we read that lymphocyte, which is a type of agranulocytes, which is also WBC, helps in the formation of antibodies, and you know that antibodies will fight against the disease causing germs, okay, and neutralize them or kill them. Like if the bacteria or the germs will release a poison which is called toxin, our WBC will secrete antitoxin, that is anti-poison against those substances. Alright. So next we have to study is the blood platelets, the third one. Blood platelets are the small blood cells and their number is 2.5 to 4 lakhs per cubic millimeter. They are also called thrombocytes or they are produced from the fragments of cells which are called megakaryocytes. They are produced in the bone marrow and they are also without nucleus and they have irregular shape. Now what is the function of blood platelets? They help in clotting of blood. So they are very important for blood clotting. And there are normally 2 lakhs to 4 lakhs. I told 2.5 to 4 lakhs. So you have 2 lakhs to 4 lakhs platelets per cubic millimeter and their lifespan is very short, only 5 to 9 days. In case of dengue fever, which is caused by Aedes mosquito, the person gets very high fever and the platelet count will decrease. So if our blood platelet count decreases, it indicates that we are suffering from some type of infection or the disease. Okay, so in the next topic we can study about blood clotting or blood coagulation. Thank you. Watch the video and then go through the chapter once again and try to revise all those which is taught.